All right, we're going to move on to the next question from Jim Morrison. We'll start with Supervisor Evans, and again, we're going to do 1 minute each, 1 minute rebuttal each, just to get a couple more questions. Jim?
An issue that's taken on a life of its own, which people have been talking about and sometimes laughing about, but it is a serious issue, is of course the Zippin Pippin roller coaster. There seems to be a disagreement on funding, overruns, costs, et cetera, et cetera. Would you comment on your position on that and what your understanding is on the cost and overruns?
Sure. Zippin Pippin certainly will bring people to Bay Beach. I've never disputed that fact. The factor that I have the problems with is that certainly it was sold to the people of Green Bay that it would, never cost a dime. But the fact is, we know it's already $500,000 over budget. There's a city ordinance that says all donors have to be disclosed. That certainly hasn't been, unless it just happened today or yesterday, but that hasn't been disclosed. I hope the donors come. But folks, Bay Beach wasn't broken. It didn't need to be fixed. We heard about how poor of economic times that we've been going through and how downtown development suffered that. But you know what? When you have a hard time putting food on the table, it's not the time to go out and buy a Mercedes-Benz. So I disagree with that purchase. I wouldn't have made it. I'm all for increasing the venue of Bay Beach. I've been on the board of the Neville Public Museum. I've been on the board of the new zoo. I can appreciate that. But I tell you, it's already a cost overrun. We've seen some internal numbers that say, it's just going to go up. Certainly the ridership is not going to be able to sustain it. And they're going to have to use dollars from the, now we find out that the Bay Beach as a whole is going to have to cover it. So I'm disappointed with that.
Mayor Schmitt, 1 minute.
Right. Earlier he said it was $5 million over budget. Now it's $500,000 over budget.
500,000. Did I say 5
Yeah,
million?
you said 5, sorry. A couple times. The Zippin Pippin, this roller coaster, which we've been talking about since 2007, huh? You guys who come to my State of the Cities, Sam Howell, we have been buying land out at Bay Beach because we wanted to continue to grow that treasure in the city of Green Bay. I went to the city council a year ago and said, look you guys, there is no cost to the taxpayers. Here we are 13 months later, and as sure as I'm here, there is no cost to the taxpayers. This is being paid for by the revenues. And look, I don't know, I think he's afraid of roller coasters. People are going to ride that roller coaster. If as many people ride the roller coaster as ride the slide or the train, coupled with what we have in the Bay Beach Development Fund, which is no tax dollars, it's revenue that's come from people who go out there, and the private donations which are exceeding our goal, this is going to work. It's worked down in Memphis for 75 years. They had the Zippin Pippin. It's 100% new construction up here. It's a treasure. We're expanding this. It's going to make for healthy families. And at the end of the day, it's an economic development tool.
Supervisor Evans, anything else on the Zippin Pippin?
I just didn't realize that we're building roller coasters for economic development now. I disagree with that.
Mayor Schmitt?
They are. It's look, we've got the support of, people like Dan Ahrens, the VCB. Those people are about economic development. The donations we're getting are from the business community. Look, those people have money for a reason. It's because they make money. And when they looked at Bay Beach and looked at we're investing, and we had a consultant come in, and you look at what's going on in Appleton and Manitowoc, and you really got to go to the Dells, or God forbid you go down to Great America. But this is going to work for us. It's $1 a ride, and this is going to help. We've got training camp. We have Bay Beach. We've got the downtown. Now this is a place for families, and I'll tell you what, a good employer knows the most important thing. It's not the price of the land, and they look at that, the utility cost, but at the end of the day, it's your employees. And that is going to help us, not just with the tourism thing, but that's going to give some pride to this community. I think it's a good thing to do, and I think it's going to all last all of us, I'll tell you that. That's going to last over 100 years. So I support it.
Next question will come